Hi everybody, it's Desiree from Harts Pearls, and today I have Bekah Ladue with me. For those of you who don't know, Bekah is one of our creative assistants here at Harts Pearls, and not only do I know her from working with her, I actually grew up with her in the same hometown. We're from Grays Harbor, Washington, and so small town, everybody knows everybody there. So Bekah came on to help us out a couple months ago, and it's been awesome to have her around. And she came to me a few weeks back and had a pretty cool idea. And she said, hey, 5 years, February in 5 years, or you will be in business for 5 years in February. What do you think about the idea of me sitting down with you and asking you a few questions? And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do it. Just don't ask me anything too crazy. No. So here we are, Bekah. This is awesome. Good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to know, we all know you started your business as a way to stay at home with your daughter and pursue your passion of fashion. What has motivated you to keep going? Because that had to have been tough. Trying to be a single mom and try to build a business, that seems like an impossible thing. And I want to know how you stayed motivated to do that. Geez,
such a good question. And so many things. I would say initially, the inspiration from having Hartley and the motivation to stay home with her. I didn't have that feeling. I didn't know what it was like to feel like, what it was like to be a mom until I had Hartley, and all of a sudden it was just this strong desire to be with her. And I think when you're put in a situation of, there should have been no reason for me to be able to stay home with her and pay our bills and start a business, and really there wasn't. I had to move in with family members to make it work. But I would say initially doing it for my daughter. I wanted to just buy some time to be with her, and that still was it still is to this day a motivator for just, it creates this flexibility that I wouldn't have without having Harts and Pearls. My faith is a huge part of it. Just simply believing that everything happens for a reason, and that I envision a bigger purpose, and truly just tapping into that bigger purpose. And for me, faith a lot of times is just believing in something you can't see. And so I have this dream for Harts and Pearls, and it's deep within me, the passion. Like, I've talked a lot about it. Like, it's not about headbands to me. And I think if it was, then it would have been over a long time ago. But it has there's a deeper purpose, and that deeper purpose keeps me going. And then there's just little things here and there. I think it's just that I am so passionate about fashion, and I love what I do. I love the people that it puts me in contact with. And I also love what it's done inside me, that, coming from a very low spot of little hope, and to see that something, at least in my life, great has come of this, that not only was I able to take care of myself and my daughter and then give back to other people, that now we are trying to even expand more and see who else we can help and who else we can bring hope to. So
yeah, that's really inspiring words, and I think you've really done an amazing job of inspiring our Harts and Pearls followers. And what I want to know is, what has been your greatest challenge with your business in the last 5 years?
The greatest challenge, I would say, kind of goes back to that same spot. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have a business model. I didn't even really know what I was going to do. All I knew was, in that instant, it was either go back to work and leave my little 3-month-old with a daycare or whoever, or just try to hang out with her for a little bit. And so I think the greatest challenge was that I didn't necessarily have a plan, and that I didn't have any money. So I almost see that as one of my greatest assets as well. It was challenging because I literally had to start very small, and in the beginning, I didn't make your order until your order was paid for. And I couldn't do these big shows where I had a bunch of inventory because I didn't have the money to. It's like, you pay for the hat, then I go buy the materials and make it, and then you wait, 2 to 3 weeks. And so I slowly built. So the greatest challenge of not having the money up front to be able to just explode. But at the same time, it made me be so smart with my money and really see how my money could last the longest, because I needed to pay for all these other things besides, trying to grow my business. But
Right.
so now I see it as like, it's been a great asset because I don't have any business debt. And here we are 5 years later, and just big things ahead. So
Yeah. Well, what you've built is really incredible if you think about it. Coming from a place of having nothing to getting to where people recognize your head wraps wherever you go and things
Yeah.
like that. That's pretty amazing. Didn't you say that Hartley recognized someone in a coffee shop with your head wrap on? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she did. We were in a coffee shop and she pointed out a girl, hey, they have Harts and Pearls on.
Yeah,
So it was cute,
Yeah.
at the time Hartley was probably, 3.5 or 4, and just, knowing that my daughter, that I started this, a big, huge inspiration now is seeing people wear headbands. And actually PK, one of my sons, who was a twin, was at school the other day, and he's like, there was a girl in my class with Harts and Pearls on. And I'm like, well, did you tell her that you know the owner or what? And he's like, yeah.
That's funny. What do you think has been your best business decision since you've started Harts and Pearls?
My best, I would say, simply just waking up every day and choosing to do it all over again. Because
Wow.
I don't think running a business is hard, but it's not difficult. And I guess the way I mean that is, I didn't have what I have, I didn't get what I have overnight, but it's days stacked upon days doing the same thing over and over and choosing when a challenge comes just to keep moving forward. Just that one choice of like, I'm going to keep moving forward because I believe that there's a bigger purpose. I believe that what it's done for Hartley and I can do the same thing, for other people.
Yeah, and I also wanted to ask you about, because I've noticed from working here and then from following you since you started the business that you've gone out of your way to give back to the local community or to reach out and help people that need help. And I know right now we're working on the Raise for Rowan fundraiser, this head wrap that I have on. And so what can you tell me about that? Why have you decided to kind of be so passionate about giving back? Because I feel like you're doing more than what the average person would do to give back.
Well, for a couple reasons. I just have a strong belief that you only get to keep what you give away. And what I mean by that is the things in my life have been given to me as a gift and they're not mine to hold on to. And I want to share whatever talents and gifts that I have with other people. And then underneath that is the hope of the story of, if anybody shouldn't have made it, it should have been the single mom that didn't have any money, that didn't have a father helping her, that didn't have a place to live, that didn't have a business plan, that, it shouldn't happen. So because it was able to happen, there's this huge desire to show other people, no matter where they're at, going through a divorce, bankruptcy, child that's really ill, a father that's really ill, whatever's going on, that there's hope and there is a reason. It's really hard in the midst of the pain to know that there could be a reason. And so I give back to, Raise for Rowan because it's the only true way I've found that I've been able to feel fulfilled when I lay my head down at night. It's cool to sell headbands. It's awesome. I like seeing people wear my headbands, but I have peace when I know that these headbands are able to help family pay for funeral expenses because they've lost a child. That's at the end of life. I want to be like, wow, I helped as much as I could. I was able to do things beyond just selling headbands and creating cute accessories and, just the bigger purpose. For me, it's always the bigger purpose. So
that's really incredible. And what can you say to our followers about if they have an idea on something they need help with? Let's say they work for a charitable organization or they are in some kind of need. How can they get in touch with you to see if we could collaborate together?
Yeah, I found out about Raise for Rowan from just a customer getting a hold of me and saying you have to hear their story. And so if you're a nonprofit, you have a fundraiser, anything, reach out to us, tell us your story. We really want to partner with people, you know, close by and far away to help for a bigger purpose. And not only that, I mean, say you don't have a nonprofit or you have a situation that, you know, for some reason you're wanting to raise money for. We want to hear your story. We want to help if we can. So yeah, so go to our website, hartsandpearls.com. You can reach us there. You can send us a message on Facebook, Instagram. We try to keep in contact pretty closely with our followers. So yeah. So this headband actually on, I was going to call you Rebecca. I've never called you that in my life. Becca's head is our Raise for Rowan headband. 100% of the proceeds from this headband go to Raise for Rowan, which is the nonprofit that assists families with funeral and mortuary expenses when they've lost a child. And they can be, you can find out more about them at raiseforrowan.org. This headband is reversible as well, so you can untie the bow, tie it the opposite way. It also comes in all sizes, infant through adult, and it's been selling like crazy. So we have people upstairs packaging some orders for us right now, and we're trying to stay on top of the Raise for Rowan headband. So,
and I've noticed that whenever we hear from someone that needs help, it's like the whole Harts and Pearls team gets excited about it and gets behind it, and seems like we do our best to help in any way we can.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, well, like you and Barb, who helps us a ton, I want to have people that work for Harts and Pearls, that are connected to Harts and Pearls. When I hire, it's like, I want to make sure that their purpose, their vision, their passion, the things they value is in line with ours. Like I don't want someone coming here just to help out. I really want them to be inspired by giving back, to really feel passionate about helping women feel beautiful, to, you know, just have a deeper meaning as they come to work too. Because if you wake up and you come to work at Harts and Pearls and you're just here to package some orders, how long is that going to last? I want them to feel, hey, there's a bigger purpose in this, and hopefully through it, you are being uplifted, you know, and the other girls are being uplifted through it as well. So,
I know for me, I love it when we see girls try on the headbands, and it's like they're always nervous to try them on because it feels like such something they're not used to, like a different kind of fashion accessory they're not used to. But every time they put it on, they get so excited and feel so brave and feel so like highly fashionable, and I love that.
Yeah, it's a cool experience. Like it's such a small thing, but you can see someone changing right before your eyes.
Exactly.
They're like hesitant to try something new, but then you encourage them a tiny bit.
Right.
And then they make that small decision, and then it's almost like they're like, oh my gosh, like I love it, you know?
Right.
And it's just that small thing that's just like, it's cool, you know? We're helping people get a little brave with small things, you know?
Exactly. So I have one more question for you. I want to know, now that you have 3 kids and a house and a husband and all this stuff that's so different from 5 years ago when you started with just you and Hartley, how do you balance this new life, I guess?
Yeah.
And your business?
Well, I mean, I don't. I think, first of all, I don't have an expectation that I'm going to balance it all perfectly. I think if you have that expectation, that's when you're all of a sudden going to be bitter and resentful, because how am I ever going to balance work with being a good wife and a good mom and doing all the things I want to do? I think we all are so passionate about so much, women especially. They want to be amazing mothers, awesome wives. They want to have a career, or they want to be an awesome stay-at-home mom that's doing homeschooling, and we have these deep passions to just do amazing in whatever we do. And so I don't ever try to really balance it. I mean, of course, yes, I keep in mind balance is good. I try to just really, whatever I'm present in, I try to just really focus on that. So one thing I've learned that's helped me is if the kids are home and they're here, I don't work. Like I never work on the weekends, which I used to all the time. I don't work when Ron's home. I mean, it's rare, and Ron does the same thing with me. He has his own business, and he could be working for, when I'm around. But we've just, we've set these hours of like, this is when we're going to work, and we're just going to laser focus.
Yeah.
And when it hits this time, we're off work. And when the kids are here, we're not going to work. We're just going to spend time with them. And so it really helps to kind of create a little bit of boundaries within it. And of course, sometimes you got to work late, and that's just part of business. And, but in the end, it pays off because we can leave at a drop of a dime and take our kids away if we really need to. Or, Ron can be up at the hospital visiting Vanny, and I can be home working. And it's just, really our life has been, what we have has worked really good with the situation that we have. So it's cool.
That's pretty incredible. Well, I want to thank you for letting me interview you. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. I love the idea. Yeah. Well, let me ask you one question before we go.
Okay.
I mean, you've been helping us out and seeing a little bit of the insides of Harts and Pearls. Obviously, I try to create this, exactly what you're saying, this bigger purpose, a company that uplifts, inspires not only women, but all people.
Yeah.
You were an outsider and you just saw what was whatever on social media, but now that you've kind of been behind the scenes, how has your view changed, if it has, or, what is some insight that you could say, like, give to somebody?
I would say that everything, when you look at Harts and Pearls on the website, when you follow us on social media, it's all true. Like, we're really working towards making this business great. I mean, Desiree really is working her butt off here. And like we've talked about in this interview, how you've talked about giving back. You really are passionate about giving back. I feel like you're very transparent with your business. And I think that's hard to find. And I know I love it here. And I'm excited.
She got flowers delivered today. Not by me.
I'm excited to come to work, which I think is hard to find. I'm excited when people like the headbands, or when somebody texts me and said, "Oh my gosh, I just saw this post on Facebook. How can I get that head wrap?" And it's like, it's exciting. It's easy to work here because I'm working from home. I'm working here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just such an amazing experience for me because we're doing something bigger than just the headbands, like you said, and it's just really good. I guess that's what I would
cool.
say.
I love hearing that. The other day you said something about that you've been learning a lot too, and for me, I'm like, that's awesome. I mean, a lot of times I'm like, I don't know if I'm teaching, if anybody's learning anything, but the feeling of like, that you could be learning something new that you could use later in your life is cool too. Yeah,
I feel like at Harts and Pearls, I've learned a lot about how people are connected to the business. I think people buy our headbands because they see the quality and they know that we're making them, and they know that it's coming from a person who is really trying hard at what they do and really trying to make this wonderful product and this business. And I think people recognize that. And I didn't realize that before. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and come up with these questions, and it's fun. So thanks so much, Bekah.
You're welcome.
Yay.
That was good.
Yeah.